Hey guys, welcome back. This is the seventh lecture of our web development using ChatGPT and Ruby on Rails course. In the last lecture, we generated the resource controller for our employee model using ChatGPT. Now, in this lecture, we will ask ChatGPT to create view files for our employees controller. Okay, I mean, whenever you create a controller in the Rails, and if you want to perform any kind of template rendering, then you must have the view files for your controller actions for which you want to render the template on the browser. Okay, and now in this lecture we will ask ChatGPT. Okay, so first of all, let's go to the console again where we fetch all the attributes of employee model. Okay, and here you can see that we have these attributes: first name, last name, email, contact number, address, pin code, and so on. And now we will ask ChatGPT to create a form for based upon these attributes. Okay, so what we can do that we can say ChatGPT just copy all these attributes, and now we will prompt on the ChatGPT. Okay, so just go to the ChatGPT, and here what we will tell that I have following attributes in the employee model in my Rails app application. Paste all these attributes here, and now you can ask ChatGPT, can you please give me a form for these attributes, or we can you give me a form partial for these attributes? And when you submit this, it will create a form partial with you. So here you can see that it is creating the form for all these attributes. Okay, and it will simply identify all the attributes like just see here you can see that it has created a form using form with tag. Okay, and then mention the model employee local true to form. Okay, and then form dot label first name, form dot text field first name. Okay, and then form dot label last name, form dot text field last name, and so on. And for the email, it has taken email field. For contact number, it has taken text field. For address, it has taken the text area. However, if you want to keep the text area, you can keep that. Otherwise, you can simply update it by text field. Okay, and pin code, text field, and city, state, and date of birth and date of hiring, it has automatically taken the date field. Okay, and now you can see that you can save the partial file with a name like underscore form.html and place it in the appropriate directory within your Rails application. Usually it will be app views employees. Okay, and in the project directory you can see that when we generated the employees controller, we got the employees directory within the app views. Okay, so what we can do, we can create a new file within this employees directory and save this file as form.html.erb. Okay, and just to save this, and now what we need to do, we just need to copy this form. Okay, we just need to copy this form and we can paste it here. So this is our form for the employee model. Okay, however, if you wish, you can ask ChatGPT to include the bootstrap 5 styles for the form. Okay, or bootstrap 5 form element for this Rails form. Okay, so let's try to ask on the ChatGPT that I want to style this form with bootstrap 5 css. Can you please do this? And when you submit this, Rails ChatGPT will tell you that certainly I can do. Okay, and here you can see that it is generating the form with the bootstrap classes like form control, call md6, call md6, and so on, like call 12, call md4, call md4. It will automatically adjust that. So now if you wish, you can keep this form with the bootstrap styles. Okay, so let's copy this code and replace this form with the bootstrap style form. Okay, so now we have a form with bootstrap styles in our Rails application. Now what we can do that since the form the form partial itself will not render the form on the browser, we need new template, edit template to render this form. Okay, so what we can ask to the chat gpt, can you also give me can you also give me edit and new templates with some bootstrap styles and render the form partial in it. When you submit this, it will create new template and edit template for you. And here you can see that what we are seeing: class name, controller, new employee, render form, employee, and this is for the edit.html. Okay, so now we have templates new.html, which are new.html.erb, and edit.html.erb, which are rendering the form partial in it. Okay, so what we can do, we can create two files here in the app use employee directory. Okay, and save those files as new.html .erb, and then save the other file as edit.html.erb, edit.html.erb. Okay, and now you, what you can do, you can simply copy the snippet of for edit.html and new.html. So just copy and paste this text into the paste this code into the edit.html.erb, and you can open the new.html erb, and now just paste this snippet here. Okay, so you can do this here. Okay, since now we have the edit and new page for, edit template and new template for our employee resource. Okay, so let's test this on the browser. So when you go to the browser and open a new tab, and now open your Rails application. Okay, and here what you can do, that employees.new, employee slash new. When you do this, you can see that we are seeing this employee form on the browser. Okay, however, it is showing without any bootstrap style, but we have the bootstrap classes in our form. Here you can see that in the form we have the bootstrap styles, but since we do not have the bootstrap imported or bootstrap cdn used in our layout files, that's why the bootstrap is not working. So what we can do, that we can ask the same question to the chat gpt, that can you please give me the bootstrap 5 cdn to include in my rails application. And when you hit this, you will see that it will give you the how you can include the bootstrap snippet in your rails application. Okay, so simply what you can do, that you can copy this bootstrap 5 cdn, or you can simply go to the bootstrap documentation as well. For example, get bootstrap.com. Okay, and you can find the bootstrap 5 cdn from here. Okay, so here you can simply go to the docs like this, go to the docs, and here you can find the cdns. So let's find the cdns from here, because ChatGPT will not give you the updated cdn because it has some data limitations. Okay, or like based upon its with the time when it is created, it will give you the maybe the incorrect version of the bootstrap 5. So you can go to the layout file now, open the application.html.trb, and paste your bootstrap css cdn here. Okay, and now you, when you save this and go to the browser and refresh your employee form, you will see that this form is now look like this. Okay, so what you did here, you just prompted on the chat gpt, and chat gpt has given you the form, and now you can see that everything is looks like charm. You can say like everything, it just look like a charm. You just have to do nothing, you just have to ask clearly on the chat gpt that what you need, and it will give you the things. Okay, so we have the chat gpt as we have the bootstrap cdn link in our application right now, and if you wish, you can also copy the bootstrap cdn as well, javascript cdn as well. So we will use the bootstrap bundle url. Okay, so just go to the layout file again, and here what you can do, that after the style set link tag, you can use the javascript bootstrap. Okay, or the bootstrap 5 javascript cdn. Okay, just save this, and now you can close this. Okay, for now we are just using the cdn for bootstrap purpose, and later on we will see how we can import bootstrap using css bundling rails gem. Okay, but we will do that part later. Okay, for now we have edit template, edit template, and the new template. Okay, now we will ask ChatGPT to show the show template, or to create the show template. Okay, so let's go to the ChatGPT screen and ask here that I also need a template to show the employee on the browser. Can you give me show template? And when you prompt this, it will give a show.html.trb for you, and here you can see that it has automatically included the bootstrap style in it. Okay, so now you can see that it is creating the show.html.trb for you. However, it is giving you the details into the table. If you want these details in the table, you can keep this. For example, let's keep this code and create a show template by using this. So go to the app, use employee, create a new file and name it as show.html.erb. Okay, and when you go this, when you paste this, okay, and now what you need to do, just go to the browser. Okay, and here what you need to do, employees, since we have one employee in the database that we created in the last lecture, so what you can do here, you can see that it is showing you the employee details in the table format. If you do not want to see these employee details in the tabular format, and if you want to see these images into div class card type of element, so you can ask ChatGPT that I don't want to see these details in the table, I instead display the employee records within the card element or the bootstrap 5 card. Okay, so let's go to the ChatGPT and ask that, can you show the employee details in the bootstrap card element instead of table? And when you do this, you will see that ChatGPT will tell you certainly I can do that. And now here you can see that you have all the information within the bootstrap card. Okay, now if you wish, you can copy this element and just go to the show.html.trb, you will paste it, and here you can see that it is showing you the details. So go to the Rails project now and refresh the page, and now you can see that you are seeing the details within the card element. Okay, so here I want to interrupt you, but that since the last lecture we created an instance method by asking the chat gpt to show the names, show the age of the employee by using the date of birth. Now in this lecture, here you can see that in the show.html what it is doing, that it is displaying the full name of employee like this. Okay, so one assignment I want to give you, that ask the chat gpt to create an instance method to display the full name of employee using the first name and last name argument. Okay, but I'm not doing this here, you can do this at your own end. Okay, now since we have 4 templates in our employees controller, okay, so what we need here, that is still index.html.trb is remaining, so we can simply ask ChatGPT to create index.html.trb for our employee model. Okay, or the employee controller. Okay, so let's go to the chat gpt screen, and what we can do, can you give me the index.html.erb as well to display the list of employees. Okay, and when you do this, you can see certainly I can do this. Here it's a simple. Okay, so here you can see that it is checking first whether the employees are present or not. Let the response generator be finished first. Okay, and here you can see that it is showing you. So now what we can do, we can simply call index.html.erb, I mean we can simply create index.html.erb. Okay, and then paste everything here. You can see that this is your index file, and now if you go to the index page of the employees, you can see that it is showing the details like this. But now for the index page, we want to display the details within the table rather than card. Okay, so what we can do, that we can simply ask to the chat gpt, go to the chat gpt screen, that for index page I want to display employees in table format. Please correct the index template. When you submit this prompt, you will see that it is giving you a table for the employee records. Okay, now you can see that it has table. Okay, so when this response generation will get complete, you can create you can copy this table, okay, and paste it into your index.html.erb. Okay, so just copy this file now and go to the Sublime or your project directory and save this file, and now go to the browser where the server is running. Okay, and then refresh the page, and now you will see the list of employees into the tabular form. Okay, so here you can see that this is the name, email, contact number, address, date of birth, date of hiring, actions. It is keeps the city, state, pin code, and just because of its limitation to the browser window. However, if you will ask to ChatGPT to display those attributes as well, it will do that as well. Okay, and if but simply just optimizing the view, you can skip that. Okay, so what we learned in this lecture, that by prompting to the ChatGPT in correct manner, we can generate view templates as well for our application. So here you can see that in very simpler format or in very simpler manner, we created everything for our Rails application. Like we created the employee model, we created the migration, we created the employees controller, we created the views for the employees, and we created our custom controller as well. So the basic setup for the app has been done now. Okay, now in the next lecture we will ask chat gpt to guide us that how we can implement the search functionality for this employee resource, okay, by using the rainsec gem. Okay, so we will ask that thing to the chat gpt and we will implement that. Okay, but for now that's all. And don't forget the assignment, try to ask chat gpt to create an instance method to display the name of the employee. Okay, so that you don't have to use this kind of ugly format to display the employee name. Instead, you can simply use that instance method to display the name of the employee. Okay, so now it's your turn to prompt ChatGPT to get the name. Okay, so that's all from this lecture. Follow this, and we will meet into the next lecture. Until then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.